The pleasure is mine having you join us again tonight on Newsline. You know, only life can pull off a hidden sense of humor, weaving in moments that make us pause, reflect, and even smile through change. Tonight carries with it an air of reflection and resolve, reminding us that even in seasons of transition, our commitment to telling the Nigerian story remains unshaken. So from the very quiet yet spirited corners of our newsroom here in Abuja, the federal capital, we bring you stories that mirror our challenges, celebrate our resilience, and chart the trajectory of our nation's journey. Tonight, we will step into Annie Daniel's world in Abuja, where the struggle with landlords is not just her story, but it's one that echoes the frustrations of many people trying to find dignity and stability in a home. Then, of course, we'll lighten your mood tonight as ABU students in Zaria trade lecture halls for dance, drums, and dazzling cultural displays, reminding us again that even amid pressure, youth can find expression in color, culture, and creativity. And of course, our flight tonight will take us to Nchia community in River State, where after years of tension, the once elusive peace has finally returned. Yes, the Newsline aircraft is ready for takeoff. So, settle in, fasten your seatbelts. There may be time for a cup of tea or coffee, depending on your brand, of course, when we reach our cruising altitude. Never fear, there'll be no turbulence. I'll be right back with a new segment in just a moment. The member representing Makurdi North State Constituency, Alfred Mbega, has been sworn in as the new Speaker of the Benue State House of Assembly, following resignation of former Speaker Ondona Dajo. The Speaker, who presided after taking oath of office, says transparency and teamwork will be his guiding principles and sued for their support and cooperation. Assembly correspondent Grace Ichekba reports.
Emergency sitting commenced with the recall of 4 members of the Assembly who were suspended on Friday, 22nd August 2025. Thereafter, the House proceeded with the reading of the resignation letter submitted to the House by the former Speaker and member representing Boko East constituency, Ondona Dajo.
I write to resign my position as the Speaker, Benue State House of Assembly, effective today, 24th August 2025. This is done in good faith and in the best interest of the state.
Members in their contributions commended the leadership qualities of Mr. Ondona Dajo, describing him as a team player and humble personality.
Miss him, we miss his time, but the good thing is that we are consoled because he's still with us. He's still with us, he's with us. He will continue to advise us, he will continue to guide us, and continue to be with us.
The House proceeded to the nomination of a new Speaker, and unanimously, Mr. Alfred Mbega, representing Makurdi North constituency, emerged.
That I will devote
Myself to the service,
to the good people of Benue State.
So help me God.
So help me God.
The new Speaker, Mr. Alfred Mbega, assured members of inclusive leadership and fairness in carrying out his constitutional duties.
The House, under my watch, will work harmoniously with the executive and judiciary while maintaining our independence.
The House adjourned sitting to Tuesday, 26th August 2025 for plenary. In Makurdi, Grace Anyalewa, Ichekpa, NTA News.
And another story, it's more than 500,000 Nigerians have pre-registered online for the continuous voter registration exercise within the first 5 days of its resumption. INEC National Commissioner May Agbamuchimbo disclosed this during the official flag-off of the nationwide sensitization campaign in Abuja. Kenechukwu Ojo-Yenom reports.
The roadshow and sensitization are part of INEC's efforts to ensure a credible and inclusive electoral process.
as part of efforts to deliver on our mandate to conduct free, fair, credible and inclusive elections, the commencement of the CVR exercise highlights a significant step in our effort to strengthen Nigeria's democracy.
The in-person registration will commence at INEC offices nationwide from 25th of August 2025. The first phase runs until December 2025, with the second phase scheduled from January to the 30th and the third phase in August 2026.
From the 25th, people will be attended to in our offices nationwide, the 36 states and the FCT and the 774 local government offices of INEC. From 9 o'clock to 3 p.m.
The Commission seized the opportunity to also call on political parties, civil society groups, and the media to support the exercise by creating awareness among Nigerians. In Abuja, Kanachiko Ojuyenum, NTA News.
And in Sokoto, another volcano mishap has been recorded, the second within a week, this time in Girinfaji, Sabumburini local government area, where a canoe carrying about 30 persons capsized. Reports indicate that the victims, mostly villagers, who usually flee their homes at night to escape bandit attacks, were returning to their community when the canoe struck an obstacle and overturned. So far, 21 people, including 2 canoe operators, survived the accident. 6 bodies have been recovered and buried according to Islamic rites, while 3 persons remain unaccounted for. A joint rescue team comprising NEMA, Sokoto Operations Office, NIWA, SEMA, the Nigerian Army, Red Cross, Sokoto State Ministry of Works, as well as local officials and traditional leaders visited the scene. Search and rescue efforts are ongoing to locate the missing persons. Meanwhile, the National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, in Niger, Kwara Area Office, has commenced enforcement of the use of life jacket while boarding a boat with the theme, No Life Jacket, No Travel. Musa Mikhail reports that enforcement began in Bajibo Waterfront in Mokwa local government area of Niger State.
National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, has shifted its focus from sensitization to enforcement of life jacket usage on waterways to further ensure decline in the incessant cases of boat mishaps. NIWA, Niger Kwara Area Office Manager, stated that the authority will no longer tolerate non-usage of life jacket, warning that boat owners and passengers who flout the regulation will be prosecuted. This move aligns with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's commitment to ensuring safety on waterways.
So far, we have arrested several today, and until we see change of attitude and behavioral pattern within them, then we will not stop doing our work.
We are doing our best to change our people's behavior, just the way you are trying your best to sensitize us and tell us the importance.
To enhance emergency response, NIWA also inaugurated an emergency response team and distributed 35,000 life jackets to promote safety on the waterways. Musa Mikhail, NTA News.
The Nigerian communications satellite has engaged telecom, ICT, broadcasting, and tech experts on how best to create partnership model. Now, this was at the relaunch of the satellite's distributor and resettler partner program in Lagos. Lanre Beliyi has the details.
The unveiling of NIGCOMSAT-powered Nigerian communication satellite as a commercial version, which has high-compact co-creation opportunities, has now positioned the company as a modern digital infrastructure powerhouse for gathering strategic feedback from market leaders in telephone, broadcast, and internet service.
We recognize the fact that to deliver our mandate as a government entity providing satellite services that wants to be the preferred satellite service provider in Nigeria and in Africa, we cannot do it alone. The best way to reach our mandate at scale is to do it together with partners.
Discussion amongst these satellite service providers centered around partnering with NIGCOMSAT.
We want a business model that not just reflects something indigenous, but something that is private driven.
It can work. I mean, we've seen the Nigerian LNG work, and it is purely a Nigerian company but it's being run by the private JV partners. And I think that's what they need. They need to bring in partners.
Nigecomsat is a Nigerian company created in 2006 under the supervision of Federal Government Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy to improve access to nationwide satellite coverage, powering government and enterprise sector in emerging markets, and cross-sector application in education, health, fintech, and rural commerce. In Lagos, Larry Bileyi, NTA News.
In another bold move that seeks to further ignite the economic landscape of southwest Nigeria, the Office of the Sustainable Development Goals, in partnership with Renewed Hope Initiative, RHI, has presented empowerment items to about 3,500 women in that zone. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, flagged off the exercise for the region with empowerment of 1,000 beneficiaries in Lagos State. State House correspondent Adeniyi Taiwo was there.
Sustainable Development Goals 1, 5 and 8 are all in focus as the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, in partnership with Renewed Hope Initiative and matching support from the state government, lined up empowerment items including deep chest freezers, gas cookers with oven, industrial grinding machines and generating sets as objects of hope to be distributed to 1,000 beneficiaries in the state.
The empowerment of women in all spheres of life is central to achieving the SDGs, especially SDG 5 on achieving gender equality and empower all women and girls, and SDG 8 on decent work and economic growth. This program aligns with the Renewed Hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, which prioritizes inclusivity, economic growth, and sustainable development to all Nigerians, particularly women's economic empowerment. So the beneficiaries of this empowerment program, let these items serve as a foundation for creating a better life for yourselves and your families.
It's far more than the distribution of support. It is sowing the seed that will grow into forests of possibility. We will equally ensure that this initiative is supported with structures to help that through this skills development, mentorship program will push and the leakages will be wider, will create a wider opportunity.
Providing women with access to resources, skills and opportunity, they can become economically self-reliant, contributing to the development of their household and influence decision-making within their communities.
The intervention, which held simultaneously in all the 6 states in the Southwest Zone, targets a total of 18,500 women across the country, 500 each from the states. In Lagos, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
And the Nigeria Police Force repatriates a high-profile Chinese fugitive, Dai Xinsheng, in a landmark operation executed through the Interpol National Central Bureau, NCB, Abuja. A statement by the force notes that the successive repatriation, carried out in collaboration with Interpol, NCB Beijing, and the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in Nigeria, underscores the force's unwavering commitment to tackling transnational organized crime. Gui Sheng, a notorious gang leader wanted in Guangdong Province, China, for orchestrating violent organized crimes, flees his country in 2024 to evade arrest by the Public Security Bureau of Xinjiang County. He is tracked and apprehended in Abuja on the 8th of August 2025 and repatriated to Beijing on 15th of August under the framework of police-to-police cooperation coordinated by Interpol. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Egbetokun, describes the operation as a strong message to global crime networks that Nigeria does not serve as a hiding place for fugitives. He reaffirms the force's commitment to strengthening international alliances, leveraging intelligence sharing and operational collaboration to ensure justice knows no borders. And back home, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has made major breakthroughs in its nationwide war against illicit drugs, arresting a widow who attempted to traffic cocaine using a fake pregnancy disguise. In a week-long operation spanning multiple states, NDLEA operatives also intercepted 75,000 kilograms of cannabis, seized hundreds of thousands of opioid pills, and dismantled large-scale drug farms in Delta, Ondo, Edo, and Taraba. We have the details.
National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested a 50-year-old widow, Ifeoma Henrietta Ezewike, for attempting to traffic 1.3 kg of cocaine using a fake pregnancy disguise. The fashion designer was nabbed at a Lagos bus terminal en route to Abuja, with a follow-up search of her residence uncovering drug-cutting agents. She confessed to inheriting the illicit trade from her late husband. In Lagos, operatives intercepted 90 parcels of loud cannabis hidden in kitchen sinks at a courier firm. In Abuja, 2 dispatch riders were busted distributing pentazocine injections and skunk. Meanwhile, NDLEA agents in Adamawa raided the home of a wanted drug kingpin, recovering over 350,000 pills of tramadol and arresting his associates. Massive seizures continued across several states. In Kano, multiple arrests were made and over 450,000 pills of opioids recovered, including pregabalin, tramadol, and codeine syrup. In Kogi, a woman was caught trafficking opioids across the river Niger, while large quantities of cannabis were intercepted in Kwara and Ekiti states, with several suspects in custody. In forest operations, NDLEA teams, sometimes backed by military support, destroyed vast cannabis farms in Delta, Ondo, Taraba, and Edo states, wiping out over 75,000 kg of skunk hidden across plantations and warehouses.
All right, let's go to Jigawa State that is planning to host the National Quranic Recitation Competition. Now, the 3rd edition since the contest began in Nigeria. The event is drawing participants and enthusiasts from far and near, all united by the desire to celebrate the Holy Quran and its teachings. Mohammed Musa Askira reports.
The next 9 days, Jigawa will be at the center of global Quranic scholarship as young Muslims across Nigeria engage in a keen contest of knowledge, recitation, and understanding of the Holy Quran. The governor, who underscored the vital role of Quranic recitation in nurturing a just, responsible, and righteous society, stressed that true adherence to the Quran remains a solid foundation for social and economic developments in Nigeria. According to him, special integrated schools are being established across the 3 senatorial districts of the state to combine Islamic and Western education with skill acquisition.
We felt it is important to sponsor this program because we believe that Al-Quran Karim, we have a program in Jigawa State that is the Sangaya system, which will we intend to use as a means of reducing the out-of-school children in Jigawa State.
We have strong faith that with this kind of initiative, our society will be transformed into one of the good moral behavior.
He emphasized that the goal is to transform and migrate children from street beggars into productive, knowledgeable, and God-fearing citizens capable of contributing meaningfully to national growth. Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And in sports tonight, Arsenal beats Leeds 5-0, just one of the many wins at the Premier League. Bade Adeleye is standing by with sports. Bade, I'm sure you will say it's just one of those wins.
You know, so many fans will not support that because they believe that Arsenal will always go for second position. All right, that was on a lighter note. Let's begin straight away from the octagon, as it was a night of thrilling actions, suspense, shocks, and upsets, as the fight night of the 10th installment of the African Knockout Championship was held at the Velodrome of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja on Saturday. In the bantamweight division, Zimbabwe's Lewis Mataya had a brutal technical knockout win over Cote d'Ivoire's Prince Mensan, while in the women's bantamweight division, Jane Osegwe beat Morocco's Sana Mandar to claim the interim title, with Joy Banda Banla of Nigeria knocking out Immaculata Nelson Ufot, also of Nigeria. At the co-main event of the night, Gasmer Diata recorded a technical knockout of Andre Mukise, but to become the interim featherweight champion, while the much-anticipated lightweight main event between John Dos Santos of Benin Republic and Nigeria's Jibrin Inuababa only lasted 5 seconds, with the Beninoa unleashing a flying knee to knock out Jibrin in a record time and become the first ever AKO lightweight champion.
It's a sport with a huge potential, and you can see the participation, and you can see the way they organize it. And now the vision is, after this, I'm sure the sport will be more popular.
Although I lost the fight, but I believe that I'm going back home to work more on my groundworks.
I want a title in AKO. I want that bantamweight title.
It's a challenge. I have to overcome, go out of it, even when things are so difficult.
There's always a comeback, and I think I'll do better in my comeback, and I'll be stronger.
Looking forward to the 11th installment. Now, let's turn our attention to, aquatic sports, as Nigeria's swimming sensation Abdul-Jabbar Adama is once again making the headlines for a historic outing at the World Aquatics Junior Swimming Championships in Romania. Adama won silver medal in 50 meters butterfly in 23.64 seconds to earn Nigeria her first ever medal in world swimming history. Earlier in March 2025, Abdul-Jabbar Adama rocked the continent at the 16th African Junior Swimming Championship in Cairo, Egypt. He won 3 gold medals, set multiple records, including a new African junior record in 50 meters. To a bit of football now. It was a positive beginning for newly promoted sides in the Nigeria Football Premier League as Wiki Tourist claimed vital 3 points with 1-0 victory over visiting Plateau United. In Katsina, the Wolves ran out 1-0 winners, while in Kano, debutants Barau FC held Temana Yimba to a goalless draw. In other results, El Kaneme Warriors beat Bendel Insurance 2-0, while Abia Warriors edged out visiting Kano Pillars by lone goal. And away from Nigeria to the English Premier League, where it was another disappointing performance for Manchester United, who were forced to a 1-0 draw away to Fulham at Craven Cottage, with Bruno Fernandes missing a penalty. Earlier, Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest shared the spoils in a 1-0 draw, while Everton secured a 2-0 win over Brighton in their first game at the new Everton Stadium. All right, that does it on Sports Tonight. Let's now return to Claire, who obviously is having feelings for us now.
I see where your emotion is coming from. Your team didn't make it. Anyway, thank you, buddy. Thank you. We'll see you next week. Let's take a look at the weather forecast for Monday.
For joining us. In the north, expect heavy rainfall with increasing intensity as the day goes by. Flooding is possible in some areas, so do stay alert. Over the central region, moderate showers are likely in many cities, especially during the evening hours. Something to keep in mind for your outdoor plans. Down south is a cloudy start to the morning with light intermittent showers expected throughout the day. Cities to be affected include Anambra, Abia, some parts of Ebonyi, Ogun, some parts of Ondo, Osun, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, and parts of Rivers. And that's it from this end. Thank you for watching.
And that's it also from the news segment of Newsline. Don't go away. I'll be right back to get the ball rolling. All right, let's get going. Now, every society has its special festival with very deep traditional and customary meanings to its people. For the people of Ado-Ekiti, it's Udiroko Festival, an annual event that symbolizes the first day of their traditional calendar and a day to reunite, rejoice, pray, and celebrate. Olukemi Soni brings us the highlights of this year's celebration.
Udiroko Festival is a major annual celebration in Ado-Ekiti, marking the beginning of the traditional New Year of the people, a day the sons and daughters of the town set aside to give thanks to their creator, Olorun, hence the nickname Odun Olorun Borun. The name Udiroko is derived from the venue of the festival, which is converging under the big Iroko tree at the palace of the Ewi of Ado-Ekiti. The Iroko tree used to shield the people from the sun and its effects in those days. While still deeply rooted in tradition year in, year out, Udiroko Festival has embraced modern elements, witnessing developmental changes and attracting tourists. Indigenes, friends, and well-wishers trooped out on this day to the palace in their best attires, where they were treated to the best traditional music, dance, and performances. Dignitaries from far and near, including former and present governors of the state, as well as various age groups, clubs, warlords under the Ewi's territorial domains, took turn to pay homage to the king, Oba Rufus Adejugbe. The unique aspect of the ceremony was the display by the Olori group, led by the Eyeshorun of Ado-Ekiti, Olori Abosede Adejugbe. The address of the Ewi contained a review of the outgone year, aspirations, developmental activities, and budgets for the new year. And it is time for the New Year prayers, otherwise known as Iwure. The people would not take their Oba's prayer with impunity because of the adage which says, whatever the Ewi of this earth says is what the heavens accept. Thus, no indigene would stay away from the Udiroko in order not to miss the blessings from the representative of the heavens as epitomized by the Ewi.
The remembrance of the day, the founding of Ado-Ekiti Kingdom.
Fantastic, outstanding, exemplary. And again, you don't expect anything less from Ado-Ekiti.
Lovely. You know, in Lagos, we have Idiroko. That's, at the base of the Iroko tree. But I hear this is Udiroko. Well, don't ask me what it means. But one thing for sure is that I have another word locked in here. So let's move on now to Nche, where the long-standing stool controversy has finally been laid to rest. Now that reaffirms unity between the Nche community and the larger Eleme Kingdom in Rivers State. Now this came as His Royal Highness King Apollos Chu Onenche X received the traditional blessing of His Royal Majesty Dr. Philip Osarobele Onye Eleme XI. Ijoma Ugweke reports for us here on Newsline.
16th of August 2025 will remain a remarkable day in Eleme, Rivers State, as a new chapter of unity was opened in the kingdom following the long-lasting chieftaincy tussle and divisions in the communities spanning 55 years. This reconciliation move gave rise to harmonization of the traditional stool in Eleme Kingdom, with King Dr. Philip Osarobele One Eleme XI announcing His Royal Highness King Dr. Apollos Chu Onenche X, his second in command, and Emere Godwin Chiwi One Odido, the third in command. The monarch offered prayers and blessings as well as traditional rituals performed, which created an atmosphere of solemn ceremony witnessed by the clan heads, chiefs, elders, women groups, and the clergy, underscoring the people's affinity and agreement to the ceremony. His Royal Majesty Dr. Philip Osaro Obele on Eleme the 11th says the traditional blessing was a recognition of legitimacy and signals a new era of peace and unity within the kingdom. The monarch hopes that the reconciliation will pave the way for socio-economic growth, cultural revival, and stronger collaboration.
Cheap tussle has actually denied us progress, denied us development, denied us unity. Today, my brother, His Royal Highness King Dr. Ambassador Apollo Chu, OFR, and myself, we have brought all the various factions and we have united as one united Eleme people under the umbrella of our traditional administration.
On Inchia the 10th, His Royal Highness King Apollos Chu is grateful and pledges to uphold the values of peace and service to his people. He, however, regretted that the community has suffered many years of neglect due to the internal disagreements.
Every traditional fashion, chieftaincy fashion, we have now embedded ourselves into one leadership of the Royal Majesty King Dr. Philip Obele, the King of Eleme. I am the second in command to him as on Enchia the 10th. So you can see excitement on the faces of all Eleme indigenes today. Eleme will have a new face, a new leaf, now and forever.
Festivities continued at King Apollos Chu's Palace with the joyful activities, creating lasting memories.
Now that is a stark reminder that united we stand, divided. All right, we're not done with culture. Abu Zaria students, that's the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria students, forgot exams and grades for just one day as their lecture halls gave way to a runway of roots and rhythms, and everyone majored, of course, in culture. Now, draped in flowing agbadas and shimmering beads, the campus burst into a carnival of style, spirit, weaving Nigeria's many stories into one vibrant tapestry. Now, as one spectator puts it, this was Culture 101 with distinction. Here is Umar Mohammed Ajengi with this report.
It was not the usual Salah festivity in the ancient city of Zaria, but a colorful cultural carnival, an initiative of students from different ethnic nationalities studying at the Ahmadu Bello University. At the Mamman Kontagora Convocation Square, a sea of spectators gathered from far and near, eager to witness a living showcase of resilience through Nigerians' rich cultural diversity. From the colorful costumes to the dances and dramatic displays, each ethnic group brought its heritage to life, doing its best to captivate the cheering audience.
I am the paramount ruler, the attire of Igala of the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University area. Today we are here to tell the world, to showcase our great heritage, our culture before the world, to see that we are Igala people and we are proud of our roots or where we are coming from.
It will make great impact to our younger ones, especially our next generation, to inherit our rich cultural heritage.
We are here to showcase our culture our pride, to show the world, to show ABU that, yeah, we're in existence. We're also in this school.
Yeah, this day is so significant because it celebrates the rich culture of Nigerian history.
For many, this was more than just an entertainment, but a reminder of unity in diversity and a celebration of identity beyond the classrooms. The carnival did not only transform the academic environment into a social and memorable spectacle, it also positioned Ahmadu Bello University as more than a citadel of learning, a reservoir, an epicenter of Nigeria's cultural traditions.
Wow, excellent. If I had the powers, or maybe I should wave my magic wand, I'll say, all of you, first class distinction. That's what culture does. You're watching Newsline. Don't go away. We'll take our first break, or is it second break? And when we come back, we have much more ahead for you. Now, welcome back. Who says school reunions are boring? Well, the class of 1988-1989 from Airfort Secondary School, Kaduna, just wrote the rule book on how to throw a reunion, and Abuja was the lucky host. Now, whether they arrived as CEOs, retirees, or simply the quiet ones, who finally came out of their shell. Now, this reunion was a roller coaster of joy, jokes, and party jollof rice. Stay with us as our correspondent, Ekenen Dulue, takes us inside the unforgettable weekend where memories came alive and friendships picked up right where they left off.
It was laughter and hugs as the class of 1988-1989 from Airfort Secondary School, Kaduna, stormed Abuja for a weekend-long reunion after over 3 decades apart. The festivities began with a tour of some tourist sites around Abuja, and then dissolved into a sizzling barbecue night, held the night before the dinner. It was packed with juicy grills, cool drinks, and hot gists. The next morning, the mood shifted slightly as the group gathered for health lectures. Topics ranged from lifestyle-related health tips to mental well-being in midlife. Then came the grand finale, the reunion dinner night. The venue was elegantly decorated, but no chandelier could outshine the joy on people's faces as classmates arrived, dressed to impress. The screaming, the hugging, the "you haven't changed at all." It was all love, all night. And when a few of their former teachers walked in, the room erupted in applause, cheers, and emotional salutes.
I was almost shedding tears when I got the letter for invitation, inviting me to come for this reunion. Over 30 years, it's amazing.
It's exciting seeing everybody, after a period of 3 decades plus. I'm glad for the good Lord that has kept us thus far.
Everyone had something to say, from the teachers, the A students, the class backbenchers, and the Deputy Director News in NTA, Hawa Saliu Adama.
Anytime Ulu is coming to the class, we know that we are in trouble.
Basic things were broken down for us: economics, chemistry, physics, mathematics, how they were broken down for us. And some of those foundations assisted us in our subsequent careers.
I feel very grateful and I'm very, very happy. And it's not just the reunion, it's the fact that we are coming together to help each other.
For me personally, it's very unreal. I didn't believe that this could happen. But when I was elected president, I decided there was a vision that I birthed.
It was not just about the food and merrymaking. The alumni is looking for ways to give back to the school where it all started. And the dinner was an opportunity to set up an endowment fund with donations already coming in droves. As the evening came to a wrap, The Air Force Secondary School Kaduna class of 88-89 proved that true friendships never fade. Their reunion wasn't just about the past. It was a celebration of growth, gratitude, and the unbreakable ties of a shared beginning.
Wonderful. And indeed, the quiet ones finally came out of their shell. Did I mention names? Now, from a spark of visionaries in Enugu to a network of over 10,000 members worldwide, the National Association of Liberated Tigers, NALT, Club International, has grown to become a movement for justice, service, and humanity. Now, at its 2025 Harris Convention, the group brought dignity and renewed hope to widows and widowers across the 5 southeast states. Chika Okuri reports for Newsline.
The international president of the club, Mr. Obinna Amoke, describing Enugu, which is fondly called 042, as a city with adorable culture and vibrant lifestyle. From captivating speeches like Grand Zero on My Mind to business segments and the presence of royal fathers, among others, the biannual convention reflected the true identity of NAT as a legal and indivisible club built on brotherhood, unity, and collective success.
If you find a union pastor, many of us already believe my profound gratitude. We need to champion democracy.
Love, they need care and all. That is why the NAT International is reaching out to them.
Gathering of NAT members worldwide to deliberate on a practical way and measures of ensuring that social justice in our country, Nigeria.
The message of social justice, which is to look out for those who cannot look out for themselves.
After reflecting on its decades-long journey and future prospects, members of the club reached out to humanity, donating food items and cash to about 60 widows and widowers across the southeast, as well as conducted free medical outreach. Overwhelmed with joy, some beneficiaries could not hold back tears of gratitude.
I feel very happy.
For members of NAT Club International, existence finds meaning not only in giving back to society, but also in friendship and conviviality, expressed through sporting activities and thrilling cultural dance steps.
Now, social media has its downsides, no doubt, but it has also shone a light on injustices that might otherwise have stayed hidden, especially violations committed by those tasked to protect us. Now, the recent viral video of a youth corps member assaulted by members of a state-owned security outfit in Oba, Anambra State, is a stark reminder. So the question arises, when those meant to uphold the law cross the line, who then protects us? Chinyere Fesukoye reports.
Fundamental human rights in Nigeria, as enshrined in the 1999 Constitution as amended, include the right to the dignity of the human person, right to personal liberty, right to fair hearing, plus more. In recent time, the social media space has been awash with a lot of scenes portraying what many describe as infringement on some of the rights, especially that of dignity of the human person, to the case of the assaulted corps member by vigilante operatives in Anambra State.
Some people should be very cautious where their rights begins and where it ends. And so no level of infraction or molestation or altercation that will have led a security outfit to have engaged in open confrontation and fracas of that nature.
Is accused, you may need to investigate before taking certain actions. I may not know what really happened, but sweeping one naked is not the best. And then filming it and uploading online is quite not the best.
not right. It's not constitutionally feasible. It is all totally unacceptable.
The security, of course, they've been told several times, they've been trained, but I don't know why they keep, going by their own rules. The government of Anambra State should tame them.
There are things that should not be seen, should not be heard of. And that is one. And this is not the first time such things. We have cases of some, I don't know, being overzealous.
All these incidents bring to the fore the need for people to know where their rights ends and another person's right begins.
Agana Chamber is established by the Homeland Security Law of Anambra State 2025. They were not supposed to molest anybody, be the person core member or not. So we moved in immediately and arrested all of them that went on that operation.
The Aguna Chamber operatives are trained. We need to train them even further, and it's ongoing. The goal is simple, is to make them fully operational and professional, for them to be able to understand the code of conduct, their limits, and have sufficient respect for human rights. This is very, very important.
And these are people we try to give some level of orientation because of the importance of the role they are playing. We now expose them to humanitarian law and human rights.
Respect for human dignity makes individuals to feel comfortable, safe, and respected in their environment. Therefore, no matter what happens, security operatives, analysts maintain, should endeavor to handle people with care.
All right, you're watching Newsline. Time to step on the brakes. All right, now these days, there is always talk about who qualifies as wife or husband material. And honestly, it makes me wonder really, what exactly people are measuring. And back in the days, finding a life partner wasn't, this complicated. I mean, values and morals did the talking. But today, everyone seems to have their own tape rule. So, who's your ideal wife or husband material? Let's hit the streets of Enugu and hear what Nigerians really think. And if you are still searching, who knows? Susan Eze's findings might just point you in the right direction.
The desire for love and companionship is a fundamental human experience. If not everyone, many conceive marriage as a beautiful union with a loving, committed partner. But in reality, some of these dreams fade away like fake materials, raising the question, what should one look out for in choosing a life partner? Simply put, who is a wife or husband material?
A marriage material should be someone who is financially ready, someone who is mentally ready, someone who is psychologically ready.
Patience and respect is the key words in marriage. People believe that their love like is the basic ingredient. To me, I don't agree. You love, right? When the madness steps in, you lose that love, but if you hold on to that respect, there will be peace.
The kind of friend a lady keeps goes a long way to contribute her loyalty and obedience to the husband. And the kind of friend that the man keeps goes a long way to determine how the man handles the wife.
For this respondent, marriage will test the elasticity of your patience and endurance.
My wife not talking to me, and I wonder, what did I do yesterday? Did I do anything wrong? But at the end, I didn't do it, but still I will have to apologize so that there will be peace at home and everybody will be happy. So it requires patience, it requires perseverance, it requires endurance, and then the discipline.
Beyond personal perception about the character of a potential partner, one who is single and searching is also advised not to neglect the age-long tradition of conducting some background checks and research.
Does she has a father or mother? What about the man? Where did he come from? From a home or born in town, raised in town, no father, no mother. Is he Melchizedek? You need to know where you're going to make in-law.
All in all, qualities universally associated with a good life partner include one who is kind, respectful, loving, peaceful, patient. You can add more qualities, but while you do, sincerely consider this. Are you, yes, you, are you a marriage material?
Susan Eze, stop looking for wife material. Yes, you. Are you a husband material yourself? Anyway, let's move on to Umuahia. And there, it's simply called the Gate. That's the popular Ishi Gate. It's a name that carries memories, movement, and meaning for generations of residents in that area. Now, it's strategically positioned a road junction where journeys begin, stories are told, lives intersect from the early hours of the morning. Now, traders spread their goods there, buses rev their engines there, and pedestrians weave through the crowd, each with their own destination, yet all passing through the same heartbeat of the city. For the old-timers, Ishi Gate is a reminder of the town's modest past. For the younger generation, it's a thriving hub that never seems to sleep. Ngozi Okafor will take us on this journey through time, chronicling the transformation of this iconic Ishi Gate.
That's the atmosphere at this ever-busy spot located just 4.5 kilometers from the Abia Towers along the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway, popularly known as Ishi Gate. It is regarded as the heartbeat of Umuahia, not just a junction, but a vibrant hub connecting every part of a city. From dawn till dusk, the place never sleeps. Bounded by busy streets and familiar landmarks, Ishi Gate has undergone remarkable transformations over the years, with many stories about its past. Historical accounts suggest that Umuahia once derived its name from Oma Ahia, meaning market square, a term coined by early European settlers. The title is linked to Ishi Gate, then a thriving center where all manner of goods and, tragically, even slaves were traded. It was also a railway crossing point where passing trains would hold up traffic until they cleared. Over time, Ishi Gate has served as a motor park, goat market, and timber yard. But how much of this history is known to average residents?
Don't really know why they call gate. Yeah. But maybe I feel because, I don't know, because of the railway stuff.
I was born to know that it is being called Gate. I know it is the center of Umuahia.
Since I grew up, I have been hearing that name, Ishi Gate, Ishi Gate, Ishi Gate.
Commercial activities take place, like buying and selling.
Today, the area is home to markets, shops, and a variety of services. The human traffic here is constant, commuters hopping on and off buses. But like all bustling spots, Ishi Gate has its less appealing sides, requiring visitors to stay alert and exercise caution.
There's no way you don't see legal business. But only that they are not prominent, they are hidden. Yeah, because there are a lot of eyes are watching them here to know the bad ones.
Umuahia is known as a peaceful place. After their transactions, they should go and live Umuahia peacefully.
The new government is working. They are working earnestly to make sure that everything will be put in place.
Still, for anyone new in town, Ishi Gate is more than a landmark. It is a starting point. Get here and locals say your destination is almost assured.
You know, the irony of this story is that there is no physical erected gate as Ishi Gate. It's just the space and everything that happens. You know, I've also wondered why that place is called Ishi Gate, but now I know. Thank you. So, have you ever taken a closer look at sliding gates? I mean, the kind that open and closes by just moving along a track at homes and public places. Now, a surprising discovery shows that without proper precaution, these gates could trap someone or even cause injury. The risks are often underestimated until accidents happen. And that's why in this report, Maria Mubala will examine the potential dangers of sliding gates and shares safety tips to reduce the risks with us.
This is a beautifully designed iron gate being erected nowadays on most of the modern buildings to easily be pushed in a slide for those coming in and out, known as sliding gates.
I prefer the sliding type because it's much more easier and reliable. And most of the time, if you notice, it is stronger than the one we open.
I prefer the butterfly type of gates because it's more easier to use. And I said because why I say so, the sliding type is very risky.
I prefer the swing gate because the sliding gate can fall off. Though the gate is designed not to consume more space, it has, however, become a source of injury or even death to many people.
When the school gate fell on my head, I had some fractures on my face, so they take me to the hospital and did for me some surgery. Up to now, I'm still living with a metal in my jaw.
This happens with children that are overwhelmed with the weight of the gates. We have seen cases like that where children present to the clinic with injuries to their face. One of the common bones that we have seen is the bone of the lower jaw. So when these bones are broken, the teeth are not properly arranged, that major function of chewing and sometimes speaking will be affected.
At times, we've been receiving some kind of reports of accidents that normally happens to it. But that is not with the case of the gate, but with the case of the construction.
The question here is on the rules guiding installation of sliding gates to avert the dangers associated with this modern development.
In installing the gate, one, you have to make sure that the gate is aligned vertical on the lower rail and then the upper roller guide. Now this upper roller guide are two. Most fabricators now provide only one, and that's why sometimes you have this failure of the gate. And then secondly, the rail has to be longer, almost 2 times the length of your gate. That is to say, the gate will roll entirely on top of the rail. At no point will the gate exceed the length of your rail. These are some of the guiding rules that you have to pay attention when installing sliding gates.
The public is expected to be weighing both positive and negative effects of these gates in order not to be caught in a slide.
All right, thank you. You're watching Newsline on the network service of the NTA. If you've just joined us, I just want to press the break again, but thank you for joining us and for staying with us. Now, the famous Zuru town in Kebbi State played host to dignitaries from far and near, this time not for the annual Uhula Festival, but to pay their last respect to the custodian of the Zuru tradition, Major General Mohammed Sani Sami Gomo II, who died after a brief illness. Correspondent Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa was in Zuru to capture the moment for NTA Newsline.
Described as a home of generals, once again lived up to its name as the Nigerian army took the lead in receiving the body of one of its finest, late Major General Mohammed Sani Sami Gomo II, with full military honors. It was a solemn moment as men in uniform paid their last salute, honoring a soldier who gave his life for the unity of Nigeria and who later devoted himself to humanitarian causes, championing the fight against HIV, AIDS, polio, and other threatening diseases.
General Mohammed Sani Sami, retired, a gallant professional soldier, a noble officer, a worthy son of Nigeria.
We grew up together. The same senior primary school for 3 years, same secondary school for 6 years. Entered the military the same day for another 6 months in Kaduna Nigerian Military Training College.
After the military, it was the turn of family, traditional rulers, and religious council to offer their final respect. The Janaiza prayer was led by the chief imam of Zuru, followed by interment. The rites were witnessed by the vice president, Kashin Shettima, who led the federal government delegation, and the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III, who led the traditional and religious councils. Born on October 24, 1943, the late Emir joined the Nigerian Army in 1962 and was commissioned the following year after training at the Mons Officer Cadet School in Aldershot, England. He rose through the ranks, serving in key command and administrative positions, including military administrator of Bauchi State between 1984 and 1985, commander of unit in the 82 Division, and later general officer commanding the 1st Mechanized Division, one of the Army's most strategic formations. Upon retiring from active military service, he was appointed Emir of Zuru in 1995, a throne he occupied for 3 decades until his passing on August 16, 2025.
One thing we'll miss about him is his simplicity and the kind of fatherly role he played for everyone.
As Emir, he was renowned for fostering peace, unity, and development across his domain. His subjects fondly recall his love for color white. This reflects in his home, attire, and cars, which many believe symbolize his pure heart and kind nature.
One of the most active people of his time.
To the people of Zuru, he was more than a ruler. He was a pillar of strength, a bridge builder, and a father figure whose legacy of peace and compassion will endure for generations.
He's been an exemplary leader.
And late Chief Felix Agbapuronwu is also laid to rest at his country home, Isulo, in Orumba South, local government area of Anambra State. And Ngozi Okikaru was there.
Family, friends, and well-wishers converged on Isulo for the burial service of the late Chief Felix Eze, conducted by our Saviour Anglican community, presided over by Reverend Canon Chukwudozie Ejekam. In his homily titled, "The Lord Will Wipe Away Your Tears," Ejekam reminded all that nothing lasts forever, describing the late nonagenarian as a cherished member of the community whose legacies are worthy of emulation.
I've never seen him having issues with anybody. Growing up with the children there in Onitsha, my parents will always talk good about him. And when you see him, just a little interaction with him will tell you exactly who he is.
To everything there is a season and time, says the scripture. And for the late Chief Felix Eze, whose mission has been accomplished on earth, it's time to be laid to rest. For the children, relatives, and well-wishers, his death calls for celebration of life.
That legacy he leaves behind, that peace, I will pray to God to help me to maintain that peace.
He's a good man. That is why he earned that name, Ojenonwe.
My favorite memory, because I'm a foodie, is always when he always praise me, how I do devour a plate of food and fufu.
I miss my grandfather because he loves us and cherishes us. He taught us the meaning of love and how to love our neighbors.
As God will have it, he gives him life to stay till 90 years. I thank God for him. We know that premature.
We are celebrating. We are not mourning. We that are alive, we are praying that we will live up to 120.
Condolences by in-laws and friends continue in colorful displays, as well as entertainment for the guests. Born in July 1935 and a renowned furniture maker, the late Chief Felix Eze, also known as Ojenonwe, is survived by his wife, 8 children, 21 grandchildren, and many relatives.
Now, late Professor Kelo Ochule was described as a man for all people. And so, during his passing at 82, he was also given a befitting send-off. Dennis Adegunloye reports that it was a coming together of the people of Nigeria and Uganda, who over a 3-day period eulogized the late professor.
Following an evening of in-person and online tributes to late Professor Okello Ochuli, the Cathedral Church of the Advent, Abuja, was the venue for the service of songs in celebration of a life well spent in service of God and humanity. The young and old, who had the good fortune to know late Professor Ochuli, who was a Ugandan by origin but adopted Nigeria as his country, recounted the great impact he had on their lives.
It is hard to capture in words what he meant to us. You're not only Sadat's father, but a father figure to many of us.
It's only true here. So one can ask him, say, when is your hard time? You're always smiling. When you have a problem, it's empty, forget about me. That will tell you the kind of person he is.
I told his wife, I didn't even believe Okello was up to 8 years. Me and him were related in such a way that there was no age difference between us.
God has used this man to shape the life of many, even those who never met him.
The late professor was a son of Uganda, a literary giant. We're very happy that we were able to lend him to Nigeria.
It really brought tears to my eyes, hearing all these things. And I know that he's in a better place.
He honored the dignity of the human person. He didn't think about class. He wasn't a class-conscious person, even though he was up there.
Professor Ochuli, he was gentle, he was friendly, he was approachable, he was everything to everybody.
The final day of Thanksgiving for the life of Professor Ochuli commenced in solemn fashion with the entry of his casket into the church. And while the mood was somber, there was admonition to take solace in the fact that the deceased lived a good and fulfilled life, and that it is not how long, but how well one lived on earth.
His grace prays for all of you as a family. His grace prays that the Lord will comfort you himself. Such comfort as no man can offer another. Both humor and every member of the family, all the children of his home, the Lord, his grace praise, will comfort you all in the mighty name of Jesus Christ.
In the end, late Professor Okello Ochuli was committed to Mother Earth at the Gudu Cemetery, Abuja, with mourners comforting one another in the knowledge that he is at peace with his Maker.
Earth to earth.
For me, what comes across to me is his humanity. And that in itself speaks a volume. So, good night, Prof.
He has inspired so many of us young people, one, generally to study and be like him.
I think his most important legacy is that he touched on the lives of so many people, not only in Africa, but I think in the Caribbean, in the Americas, in the UK.
It touches us very deeply because Ben is one of ours, a very dear member of the NTA family, and we came out en masse to support him.
Gone but never to be forgotten, late Professor Okello Ochuli departs this world, having left an enduring legacy to many.
He was also very witty and humorous. Good night, Prof. You know, extra time isn't only reserved for the field of play. Even in pregnancy, extra time is allowed, though it comes with great anxiety. Just ask Andy, our studio cameraman, whose bouncing baby finally arrived safe and sound after 9 months, plus extra time in the tummy. Congratulations, Andy. That's life for you. With just a blink of an eye, the script flips and the stage is rearranged, and just as every story holds room for a new twist, Newsline too will continue to embrace fresh rhythms, subtle yet promising, the kind that keep our shared journey engaging and ever unfolding. I am Claire Adelabu Abdulrazak. Good night, everyone.